Is it possible to build a beautiful body doing only calisthenics? Right now, you're looking at the live answer, whose name is Dejan Stipke. Yeah, that's right, because in Ukraine the guy has been called Dejan Stipke for quite a long time. Which, as it turns out, is not true. As you understand, I managed to get in touch with this athlete and I asked him a couple of questions, as well as gathered information from available sources to tell you about Dejan in as much details as possible. So, as usual, grab your favorite drink, enjoy my Russian accent, and let's go. On this channel I've had a lot of different athletes, and most of the time each of them has some difficult trait, like Osvaldo Lugones, a man with the perfect technique in everything he does without having any unique physique. Chris Heria is a man of unusual appearance who managed to build a very successful company around his favorite business. Dejan, in my opinion, also has a distinctive feature, and it is immediately visible at the side of this athlete. I'm talking about the physique, of course. Very powerful arms and forearms, and he is one of the few calisthenic athletes who pay attention to his legs, which also contributes to the growth of the muscle mass. Now Dejan's weight is 81 kg and the height of 171 centimeters. His biceps size is 45 centimeters without pump. This athlete has been training for a long time and his body has changed quite gradually. As a child, his parents sent the boy to the gymnastics, where he performed successfully enough and even managed to become a national champion. But being a schoolboy, he wanted something more than just training and studying. And gymnastics, as you know, is not an easy sport. He had to train before and immediately after school. I did not have any time for hobbies or for life with such a schedule. Injuries made themselves felt, and that's why Dejan decided to give it up. After that, not for a long time, the guy was resting, drinking, having fun with the friends, but at the same time realized that there was no special meaning or purpose in life. However, in 2012, the championship of street workout was broadcasted on Eurosport. It was exactly time when Dejan realized that he could do the same thing, because he already had a strong background in the form of gymnastics, and he decided to try. In the process, he took third place at the World Championship in Moscow. Then, one by one, he won another championships, even though he did not really like the freestyle direction in which Dejan performed. It was just a way to show himself to the world. To all appearances, the guy succeeded in it quite well, because he has more than 200,000 subscribers on his Instagram and 100 more on his YouTube channel, which he runs quite regularly lately. There he shares his workouts and sometimes answers to questions, and I was interested in the moment of training. Because, as you know, very often athletes show complexes just to make content, without ever trying these complexes on themselves. So I asked Dejan a question: do you do these programs you talk about on your channel yourself? And answer was yes, some training complexes I used in the past, some new ones I use now. But no matter how we discuss training, the question of genetics is not less important, and Dejan agrees with me on this point. However, according to him, genetics affects more the speed and difficulty of the result than the result itself. Of course, even a fool knows that such a result is not achievable with training schedule of 2-3 times a week for 40 minutes, especially with own body weight. Dejan's genetics is great, but he always adds training weights and has a quite impressive weight records. We will talk about this later. I've always been surprised by people who look at athletes like Dejan and they think that they can do everything with almost no effort. But that's not true. Just look at this fragment.
Follow me from 2013, and you remember this park? I filmed my very first YouTube video on it with my team, Barbmaniacs.
This is a joke, of course, but he did have a lot of injuries. As Dejan said, if I hadn't quit gymnastics, this sport would have probably killed me.
Shows again and workshops with a basically broken shoulder. See, you have a picture here, me being rock taped, so I can do the show. Man. And I think I did this move, and then when I went down, I tore my shoulder. Terrible. And then a week after, I'm doing planche. Done.
Well, let's get to the practical part and find out how he eats, how much he trains, and what this athlete is capable of. Let's start with the last one. The most serious records, according to Dejan himself, are muscle-ups with 35 kg on a horizontal bar and pull-ups with 100 kg and 170 kg squat. As a matter of the fact, the question of big legs is closed at this point. But this gives me another question. Why don't I just train in a gym? Why do you need all this calisthenics? And answer is simple. Training in the gym is quite boring. And the second point is that the body reacts better to this type of workout, namely calisthenics with additional weight. So as you see, it is better to choose from your own feelings and desires, and not just because someone imposed their opinion on you. By the way, the base with his own weight is also quite impressive. It is 40 pull-ups, 100 push-ups on the uneven bars and 250 from the floor. Let me clarify that these are the records, and it is possible that at the moment he will not demonstrate such figures, at least right away. Dejan works out 5 to 6 days a week for 2 hours. This includes both the warm-up and the workout itself and stretching after. In the diet he keeps 3 to 4 meals. At the same time, calories does not count. And most interesting, for the past year he's a vegan. In general, it is now a mass practice, as you have noticed from my recent videos. But Dejan argues that he ate too much meat on a keto diet. He used to eat more than half a kilo of meat every day. And as you know, for the body, it is not a big gift. So as an experiment, he tried to become a vegan and has been keeping this regimen for a year. For those who are interested, the main thing is variety. Of course, on salads alone you just die. For a proper construction of such a diet, you need to add to your diet a lot of energetically valuable foods, such as fruits, nuts, beans, and so on. For this, it is better to either ask a professional or good study of this issue. By the way, write in the comments if you are vegan and how it works for your body. I think I and some of my subscribers will be interested to know about it. So with training and nutrition, it's clear. Where does the money came from? That's a question a lot of people ask themselves when they see athletes like Dejan. And I will tell you that I also had in the past, because I did not want to become a professional athlete because of the injuries. A lot of competition and relatively small prices. Therefore, I decided to conduct my own video blog and worked in this direction. However, social network, it is only one source of income. Dejan has more. He worked as a VIP coach in Dubai for a while, then began to develop his Instagram, which I repeat has more than 200,000 people. Recently he joined YouTube, to which the guy also devotes quite a lot of time and takes this seriously. I realized it in one of the videos where Dejan cameraman was telling what videos they shoot.
So most of the time we are filming with a Canon C200, which is filming right now. Then also we have the A7S Mark II. We are doing the pictures with the Canon 5D Mark IV. Filming with the A7S Mark II on the gimbal when we have like 2 cams, or only when we have 1 cam, then we are filming with the C200 with mostly Canon lenses, so mostly with the Canon 24 to 70 mm with 2.8 f-stop, and with a 24 mm with a 1.8 f-stop, I think. So
also they selling online workshops and training programs all around the globe. Dejan is now in business with his partner Julian Kolb. So Dejan definitely found his way in life, and that's great. After all, when I asked him what are your plans for the future, the guy simply answered that he wants to get better at everything he's already accomplished and develop the areas he's currently developing. That is, to eat better, to become more and more expert in his business, to develop his business, and so on. This is cool because people who are still looking for their destiny do not have such clear concepts and vision of themselves in the future. So that's probably what I wish for you, because I'm sure I have a lot of talent athletes subscribed to me. I even made a video about some of them, but not everyone manages to sell that talent correctly. The main thing to remember is that nothing of real value comes easily, and training should give you a great example of how hard work in any aspect of life eventually leads to results. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to write a comment below, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell, because that will make it more likely that we will see you again.